Hello, Father Kyle here with another Fridays with Father. Today I'm in the rectory kitchen because today I want to show you how to make one of my favorite Lenten recipes. It's called Lent Bread. I know, really creative name, but what it is a more substantial fasting bread. And it's a recipe I made for myself and kind of based on some other recipes I'd seen for a more protein-rich, kind of substantial bread that you can eat by itself throughout Ash Wednesday or Good Friday or any other day of fasting. So it's got some things like peanut butter and oatmeal and some nuts and seeds and some things. So it's a really substantial, dense bread that can get you through your fasting days and still have some good energy to as the scriptures say, not appear as if you're fasting, but to truly offer that up. So today I want to take you step by step how I make this bread. So let's get going. So first things first, we have to make some oatmeal. So I'm taking my half cup of steel cut oats, not the instant kind. And then I've got my quarter cup of, it's a mixture of chia and flax seed. And you can use just one or just the other. I just have some leftover flax I'm using up, so I'm using more of those today. And then your half teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. Okay, our oatmeal is looking pretty good. It's been on there for about 3 or 4 minutes, so it's kind of creating like a gel substance, you'll notice, and that's exactly what we want. That's what the flax and the chia seed does. It kind of acts like an egg almost. It holds it all together. So that's what we want. So now we'll add it to our flour. Okay, so now we have our flour mixture here, and I also added that 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So now we're going to add our oatmeal mixture into this, and it's just going to mix right in. The oatmeal kind of provides the water for the flour to hydrate. Okay, and then we'll add our last ingredients as well. This is a little bit of peanut butter, about a 1/3 cup. And it's important to use the no-stir peanut butter. So Adams is great, but not for this recipe. Okay, so that's going to mix on in there. And then the last thing is so I use a mixture of seeds and cranberries. The cranberries are the only sweetener in here. So I had about 2 tablespoons of cranberries and then a tablespoon each of, I use sunflower and pumpkin seeds. You can use whatever pleases you, whatever seeds you'd like to put in there. That's going to mix all together. Oh yeah. I'm right-handed, so I have to go this direction here. Okay, now caution, it is pretty hot dough, so just kind of keep that in mind as you're mixing it. But usually at the end, I have to kind of use my hands and get it all finished up here. Make sure it's nice and evenly mixed in there. And there you have it. There's the big dough ball. Now we're going to break this in 2 parts and put it on our baking sheet. Okay, so as you can see, I've put these into 2 kind of dough bread shaped balls that's really malleable, so you can make whatever shape you want. If you're having kids, or if you have kids, you can make them into star shapes or whatever else, crosses. But I just kind of use this traditional shape. And then I put a bunch of flour on the bottoms and on the top, and that's what keeps it from sticking. So make sure to have some extra flour to do that, because it is a very sticky dough. The last thing I often do, I just put a little, again, it's Lent, reminding you of the cross, so we're going to put a little cross on the top of our bread, like this. Kind of like if you ever had those hot cross buns. Do the same thing. Okay, now they're ready for the oven. 375 degrees for about 25 minutes, just until it's firm to the touch and gets a little bit of a golden brown on there. Okay, there they are. So here's our finished Lent bread. It's quite hot, so you gotta let it cool down for a bit on a wire rack or whatnot. But as you can see, it's pretty much firm. It's full bread shape, and the crosses have really come out. So there we go. There's your Lent bread. Well, there we are. Now we have 2 loaves of Lent bread. It's pretty substantial. I tend to have 1 loaf, and I'll break it up throughout the day on Ash Wednesday into 2 different kind of little meals, and then same with Good Friday. Now there's a little bit of symbology I wanted to mention behind the ingredients. The flour reminds us of the ashes on Ash Wednesday, that from dust we came and to dust we shall return. The seeds and nuts and whatnot, it's just a reminder of the seeds that are planted in us in this time when we take time to kind of be away from the world and be more intentionally with the Lord. But there's a lot of fruit that comes from that. And so those are the seeds that are planted within us during Lent. And then the cranberries, my favorite parts, it's a reminder of the blood, the passion of Christ. But also when you taste it, it's the only sweetness in there. And so there's that kind of interesting fact about the Christian life that, yeah, it's when we actually unite ourselves with the passion of Christ, with his own offerings, that's when life becomes sweet. We find the sweetness of the resurrection only through the blood of Christ. And so that's kind of the symbology of that. I hope you get a chance to try this by yourselves if you'd like to do so. Remember, like I said, it's a test recipe, so has not been FDA approved, but and very modifiable. It's hard to really mess this one up. So give it a shot and see what happens, and let me know how it goes. Well, this has been your Fridays with Father in the kitchen here. It's been a pleasure to be with you. I wish you a blessed Lent as it begins.